Hey, Jesse.
Hey, social media and that's okay. It's okay. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Hey,
Brandon.
they're filming.
Hi, welcome back to my vlog, Coffee Then Teach. Did I say vlog or blog? Sometimes I accidentally say blog. Oh, there's the puppy. Okay, focus. So today's vlog is a little bit different. I am meeting with two friends of mine. Their names are Jesse and Michelle Robinette. They are a mother and daughter, and they're both teachers. So I know them through my mother-in-law, and really this is kind of me just getting to know them a little bit better because I've not gotten to spend a lot of time in person with them. And I mean, they're just a joy to be around. Most of my interview is me talking with Jesse, and then right at the end, Michelle comes in and we talk about their dream classrooms. So I hope that you'll enjoy it and just bear with me, because as I learn more about vlogging, I've learned that as a person, I probably need to be outlining my vlogs and kind of making a game plan about our topics, which I sort of did, and I did have notes, but I would say this is kind of disorganized. So, just be patient as I'm learning. But we do spend a great majority of the time talking about struggles that teachers face in social media, with all the overwhelming ideas and things that we see, and just kind of learning to stay in that middle ground between being encouraged and encouraging versus feeling discouraged because you're comparing yourself to other teachers. So we talk about that for a while, and then we talk about teacher fads that are way overdone. And I do want to clarify that a lot of these I'm guilty of doing myself, and Jesse is as well. Like we're going to talk about Erin Condren planners, and both of us have Erin Condren planners. So it's not like we're ragging on teachers who do these things or buy these things. We just noticed they're everywhere. And so I had to kind of hit on that a little bit. Do you like my outfits? I would like to show you my shorteralls. One of my favorite clothing items that I've been wearing this summer is my denim shorteralls from Old Navy, which my husband doesn't love that much, but you know what? They're awesome and they're comfy. But I gotta tell y'all something that happened the other day. I have to take them off like all the way to go to the bathroom, and one of the straps just fell right into the toilet, and I was so embarrassed, and I didn't tell anyone, but I'm telling you now. Good news, the toilet was clean, nothing in it. And these are just the risks that you run when you wear clothes that are awesome, like shorteralls. So I'm about to head to Athens to run a few errands and have lunch with a friend. That's why I look somewhat like a human being today compared to my normal no makeup, hat, shorts, t-shirt, chacos. But I'm actually wearing like real makeup and jewelry. So, yeah. I hope that you enjoy the vlog. I really do. And I hope that you have a great day. All right, thank you for being here with me today. This is Jessie, and so what we're gonna do is Jessie's gonna tell us a little bit about herself and who she is as a teacher, okay?
I am Jessie. I am currently about to start my third year in first grade. I've also taught, my first year teaching was in pre-K. So I've had a different kind of experience moving in from the little bitty ones up to where I am now, and I'm excited to have like my third year. I feel solid about what I'm doing, going into that same classroom, and not changing school, so I'm super excited.
Yes, so what I love about us getting to meet is that I'm going to be teaching first grade next year, and you have the 2 years of experience, about to be 3, and you're a year older than me, so you've had 1 more year of experience. I taught kindergarten for 2 years, so we're both kind of in that primary world, so we know a lot of the same things, and but we can still learn from each other. So I'm glad that we get to live in the same area now, and I'm super excited about it. So what I've done, we've been talking, we had lunch, and we've been kind of hanging out. We're here at the Robinette's house, and Michelle Robinette is sitting off to the side. She will not be on the camera, but that's okay because we've had a lot of her insight, and Jesse and I have lots that we want to talk about. So we have some notes, but if we kind of go off topic, that's okay. because we're teachers and we know that the lesson plan does not always, we know that we don't always stick to the plan,
Not
even though we
always.
have the best intentions. So, all right. So, first of all, we've had this on our hearts. We've been talking about it, and I'm sure a lot of teachers are going through this right now. I feel like technology is a blessing because we get to use it in so many ways in the classroom, but it also can be a struggle as teachers, especially as young women. You know, we're learning new things and finding new ideas, but also with all these new things on Instagram and Pinterest, it's like it's so overwhelming that we start to feel like we're not enough, like we're failing as teachers if we're not doing those things. So I just wonder, I mean, do you ever feel like you cannot, you just can't be a good teacher unless you're doing these things that other teachers are doing? Like, do I have an emoji themed classroom? Do I have the rainbow drawers in my classroom for all of my supplies? Do I use flexible seating? So just tell me what you've been thinking, kind of how you're dealing with that.
Yeah, I'd like to say like 6 to 8 months ago, like I think I realized that on social media, and I have just Instagram, that there were teachers you could follow. And
Yeah.
the first one I followed, the reason why I liked her so much is that she would send you emails every Monday with activities. So you followed her, you saw her week, and then on Monday morning she would send you her math, I think it was math, her math activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is super cool. And so then you start getting addicted and you start following all these other teachers.
There's more.
And there's more and more. And then they start following you. So you're like, this is so cool. This is a whole other world out here.
Yeah.
And then I slowly started realizing, first of all, just what social media can do to our brains, how you get
Yes.
addicted. And so I would give myself like times, like I'm not gonna look at Instagram all day. Like it'll be like
Yeah.
my going to bed thing, like I'll have my treat at the end of the day. And then just recently I started going, and maybe it's just because it's summer, but
Mhm.
sitting there thinking like my eyes are fixed on this screen, and they're not like, first of all, experiencing other things or getting to create. So I started unfollowing people really recently, going like, you know what? I need to be creative. I got through 2 years, 3 years without looking at other people's things and comparing myself.
Yep.
And I think that has like stunted for a second my creativity of like, you know what? I know I can do this.
Mhm.
I know that I can be creative. I know that I can create on my own. So why
Yes.
look at others? And it's a weird fine line of like, you do good and get inspiration from others,
Mhm.
but also some of my best work has come from just like stepping away for a second.
And it came from your own brain.
Right.
That's what's hard. And I mean, that's a lie that we're telling ourselves, like that we're not a good teacher unless we have those things. And we are.
Well, it would be interesting too to talk to other people of like why you post what you post. Like if I'm posting a picture, and I try not to put, I don't post like faces of kids if I'm in a classroom, and it's not like, but like if we're doing something silly and they're making me laugh, like it's a genuine like, man, this
Yeah.
activity was funny, or I'm making them dance, or we're being goofy, and I will take a video for myself. It's not like
Yes.
I'm doing this to go put on Instagram, and then maybe later that night during my Instagram time, like I said earlier, I might go, you know what, that was funny, I'll post that.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm checking in with myself, and it's just like a self-reflection of like, am I posting this because I want people to like it, like both like figuratively and like actually like it, or am I just like, you know what, this was my day, and I want to share it with the people that I follow because they're my friends and my loved ones, and like, hey, this is really, this made me smile today, it should make you smile. So like, I do that a lot while I just like check in, like, is that worth posting?
Yeah.
Because I'll have
I
tons
think
of
that's smart.
stuff.
Just asking yourself, what is my intention in posting
Yeah.
this? Is it to show off, like, look at how great of a teacher I'm becoming? Or is it like, hey, I love my job, see what hilarious thing happened today?
Right.
And I love watching your stories and seeing what your kids are doing, but like, I'll admit, even like before I started learning about all these other teacher Instagrams, I followed you and I was like, wow, she's having so much, she's doing such a good job. Her classroom looks awesome because your classroom is so cute.
Thank you.
And then it's funny, like I know that would never be your intention, but it's like that negative, that little seed, it starts to grow. It's like, why does my classroom not look that good? And why, I'm just not as good as her. And we start to tell ourselves these lies, and then it's like, where are we getting ourselves? I don't know. I feel like there's a line between encouraging, like going to that community on Instagram or Pinterest or the blogs or the vlogs and using it for encouragement versus becoming obsessed and thinking I have to be like these teachers, because they also have a teaching life that they don't show. They don't show when they lose their temper on their kids and they snap at them. We all do that, and I would never want that part of like that to be public, but it exists. It's
Right.
happened. So tell me about the coffee, what you were just saying about it, and then we'll relate that back to teaching.
We were talking about how we like our coffee, and that I just grew up like not putting sugar in your coffee, and I know, and like you realize, oh, other people do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go drink coffee with somebody for the first time, and you're like, oh, you order your coffee with sugar and this, or you like a latte, or you like this, and I just like it plain with a little bit of cream. And when you start seeing, and it's kind of, we're talking about how teaching's that way, where we were saying like, oh, you do it this way and I do it this way. That works for you. I might try your coffee and not like it, but I can admire and respect the fact that that is how you like your coffee.
Yeah.
Or I can admire and respect the fact that you like to organize your things this way, or you like to do it this way.
Okay, so have you seen, it's like the carts with the drawers.
Right.
And then there's the little photo cases. Have you seen those?
No.
It's like
Oh wait, you put like games in them and stuff.
Yes.
They're for
the
photos,
task boxes.
but yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are everywhere too. And then, so you have those? Yeah, Michelle has those. My mom bought some over the summer, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to, like, she bought 2 things of it, and I thought if she doesn't use one of them, I might just borrow it for a little while. But then I'm like, but what would I use that for? I have no clue.
I have a whole under one. I don't have a lot of like unnecessary stuff in my classroom, like that I buy one of or whatever. But I have a whole, like under one of my tables, it has a skirt, and it's a bunch of containers that I either like they've been gifted to me or I've bought, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And I'm not gonna get, if it doesn't have a top, usually I'm like, anybody want this? But I usually try to like save them, but yeah, like why buy stuff if you don't know what you're gonna use it for?
But I do.
And I am not someone, like I don't know what you'd use it, I guess like decorations, like like theme your classroom, but my classroom is pretty set decor wise, you know, so I'm not gonna change it up to, we were talking about making it just colors, and like that's our theme, is that we have these, like I have 3 colors, and I'm gonna buy stuff or do stuff that matches my colors, not so much
That's more cost efficient.
and it's gonna last longer, and I'm not gonna be that teacher in 20 years from now. It's like literally the same thing. Like I like to like, switch stuff up. So far, every year I've taught, I've had a different layout in my classroom. Like I've moved stuff, furniture, so it's not like I walk in on pre-planning and it's like set up the same thing. I'm not like super boring. But I'm also not gonna like go with the fad, you know, like what's the current thing that's super popular, and so.
Well, I think that's good. I think we have to like be mindful not to just buy into it just because it's the cute thing, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of it, but it's gonna be not cool in a couple years. People are gonna be moving on to, I don't know, like rainbows or whatever.
Exactly. You know, it'd be funny is to like get ahead of the game and like totally create something and like see if you can like
something totally random and see
and
if it catches
it,
on.
like if you can get momentum.
What do you
behind
mean? Like banana themed classrooms have been totally cool.
Super popular.
I
That
do
would
love
be
bananas.
fun. See if it's like a social experiment. See if you could like.
I mean, if there were a person who had a big following, like a teacher who had a lot of followers on all the things,
They could totally do that.
They could. They could just make up something. And make it a thing. Like the Mean Girls shirts with the holes cut out, the boobs.
There you go.
Not gonna do that, but similar concept.
I think avocado is perfect.
Yeah.
See if you could get that trending.
You see. Why don't you see?
I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. Stuff.
That's funny.
All right. I also wrote down flare pens. Do you?
I don't
love
know
them?
what those are.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, because
I think, actually, I take it back. I think I do, and it's only because we were at the beach recently, and my mom was like, oh my goodness, there's some flare, and so I'm like, oh, okay, then maybe I do know what that is. I didn't know, like, I've used one, I didn't know that's what it was.
Exactly. But everyone's obsessed with them
And
right
I
now.
don't think I like them.
So, I do. I like them. Jesse,
Yes.
you can still be a good teacher even though you don't know what flare pens are. Did you know that?
Apparently. I've survived this long without knowing what a flare pen is.
I mean, I'm judging you a little because you don't grade your papers with Flair pens.
I grade my papers with my Crayola like markers from
Me
my
too.
kids' tables. I'm like, let me grab that really fast.
I love my Crayola markers. That's what I use like on the charts. If I do any like chart paper stuff, I just like Crayola markers. Let's talk about planners.
Yes.
Planners are expensive, and we like them because we're teachers, but
And we were saying earlier that we like them as students too. That you and I were both saying that like I remember even like in middle school learning how to use a planner and becoming like very reliant on the using one, and to this day in my personal life I need a planner. So we see the benefits of a planner. And I was telling you that I realized I was a senior in college, and somebody leaned over during class and she was like, oh my goodness, I just found this cute website that makes these planners. You're going to love it. And she couldn't pronounce her name. She's like, it's Erin something. Oh my gosh. And I remember, I think I wrote it down in my current planner, like my then current planner. I was like, Erin's. And I had
a planner that was like normal priced. And it
wasn't
from
like
crazy.
Walmart.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I wrote like Erin, and then I just put a C and like a question mark and planner. And then I do remember this. And then I remember walking back to my dorm room or my apartment at the time and Googling, not knowing her last name, trying to figure it out, like planner. And it popped up, and I realized, wow, that's really expensive. But I loved it, and I thought that's a good
cute
graduation present. So I got a gift card, and I had to save up some money. I had to save up money to buy this planner, and then realizing, and then I even pushed it off. I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I start teaching. So I was waiting to get this thing. And then the past 6 months, all of a sudden it blows up, and you just see, isn't this the one I've had for a while now, and now I'm starting to see it in other places? Cool. Yeah, apparently. See, I was really cool. I didn't know what that was.
You knew the Erin Condren planner before it was a thing.
There you go.
Okay, so let's talk about the flexible seating concept. It has really blown up, and I totally bought into it. I have majorly, I don't think I could go full out with it.
Yeah.
The teacher next to me, my teacher best friend, she just midway through the year was like, you know what, I'm done with my chairs. She put them all out in the hallway.
Yeah.
And her room, she has a bathtub in her room. She has tables that she's lowered to sitting level, and then normal sitting level, floor, chairs. And then she has some wobble stools or some hokey stools. And then she and I bought, we had milk crates at school, and then we put the ball inside of it where it's it's stabilized, it's safe, but the kids can kind of bounce. They really liked that. I know you had a lot of words to say about it, so
I first of all think that, my mom was saying, she was doing it before it was a thing, and she's not just saying that, she was doing it. She also had a different group of kids too. I also think that if you're not gonna commit, if you're a teacher that's it's the thing to do, so I'll try it. It's not that it would you've got to have the right attitude about it, because you could be an incredible teacher and not have it at all. I mean, your classroom could be...
Wait, what?
Right? Your classroom could have no color, it could have no decorations, you could have desks and rows, and those kids could leave your class and be like, that was the best teacher I've ever had. So I don't think, if it's not your personality, your classroom should reflect not just your personality, but the community that you're wanting to build in your classroom. So I'm kind of in between, that traditional classroom that could be incredible, and my mom, who was very flexible. I was going to tell you about first grade too. I have areas in my room. I got rid of assigned seats just because I realized that my personal flow of my day, assigned seats was getting in the way.
Yeah.
The way that I set up my daily schedule.
Okay.
So I have a living area. I have a couch and 2 chairs. I have a big open area with a stage. Stages are another thing.
Yes, that needs to be on the list.
I shouldn't say stage. I should say it's a platform. I don't have this elaborate thing.
I want a stage because everybody has a stage. But I'm oh, that'd be so fun. The kids can stand on it.
It is fun. The kids can stand on it. My kids don't need to stand on it. I think the younger you are, you need to stand on it. It is nice for what I use it for, because it is cool, to just be higher. Or sometimes I just sit to just be a little over them.
Yes.
Most of the time I'm sitting on it.
That's what I would be doing too.
And then I have a coffee table area that's kind of with pillows, and then I have 2 I have 2 coffee tables areas, and I have 2 tables.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned with my age group, with first grade, that I couldn't keep. You start getting behavior problems, and this isn't flexible seating about that, but you start to get behavior problems if you're like, okay, well, my math block is 45 minutes, and we're gonna sit on the carpet for this long, and then go to your tables or your desk, whatever. And again, that could just be me as a teacher. There could be some teacher that worked perfectly, and it just wasn't working in my body like the way I wanted it to, or in my classroom. So I like rewrote my whole daily plan, and it's not like I have a timer going. I can look at the clock and go, okay, now it's time to move. Or honestly, I can look at the kids and go, you know what? Look at that. It's about 10 minutes.
It's gonna depend on how much your kids can handle, too, or you yourself. But I think it's good that you have the flexibility, because some schools wouldn't allow that. Like, I'm just, I feel like you have to mix together what your school expects of you and what you want as a teacher. Like, what drives you to do more. So we're always moving in our areas, and then when I do have some like a work for them to like pencil paper kind of work, they know that there are 2 tables, or they know there are clipboards over there. Like, go where you want to go to get your work done, and then they know where to go put it. So that's how I use flexible seating. But closing statements. I think what we're trying to get across is that there is an amazing amount of resources out in the teaching world, and it can become overwhelming. And I think as long as you are using it with, your own teaching philosophy in mind, and saying, I want to use these things, but I don't have to use all of it. And if I choose to say no to certain things, if I choose to say no to flexible seating, or choose to say no to the donut-themed classroom, that does not mean that you're an inadequate teacher. It means that you are striving to find who you are as a teacher. That means you're doing it right. And I think if you're working to create a community that's safe for the kids, then that other stuff does not matter. That's background stuff. That's extra stuff that can help, but it's not what's most important.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the cultivating a classroom community, it should be your ultimate, or for me, I don't know for other people, I think for me is the number 1 priority. If I am focusing on creating that environment where they feel safe and loved and free to express themselves, to ask questions and to be challenged, then you can start adding the other things in that also do that. And if they're for first year teachers, maybe that's the thing we were also talking about that's kind of scary, or not scary, but we were worrisome of that, of like, if they're seeing all this out there and thinking they need to do all of that extra stuff, let's just take a breath and take a step back and go, okay, wait. Let's make sure.
So if there's first year teachers watching this, what would you say to them?
I would say that first and foremost, just make sure you are getting to know each of your kids. My mom has always said there is something, you can always find one thing in each kid that's amazing or incredible, and I take that philosophy in life too. When I meet a new person, there's always one thing you can find that's happy or wonderful about that person. So take the time to do that, and that goes into making that classroom environment a positive one. And then go and see and add in all those other things, and it's also good to experiment. Like we were talking about flexible seating, it might not be for you, and we were just saying, like, whoa, wait a second, you can be a great teacher without having the cushions and this kind of seat, and like totally, that might not be your teaching style. You might have a classroom that has none of that, and you could still be incredible. So it's learning about your kids, and it's learning about who you are as a person and as a teacher.
I'm gonna make Michelle join us for this. So we have one closing question that we're each going to answer. So come on over. This is Michelle.
Hey.
Say hey to the camera. She is about to be teaching 2nd grade, and you formerly taught, tell us.
Gifted ed for 6 years, but I've also taught 1st grade, and I've been a technology coordinator, and I've taught 2nd grade and 3rd grade.
Awesome. Okay. So our question that we have is kind of an open-ended one. What I want you guys to share is, if money was no object, what would your ideal classroom look like? And I mean, you can design the layout, the structure, the outside, right outside the door. I want to hear, what would be like your dream learning environment?
Let me start.
Yeah, I do.
It would have a balance of workspace with tables. It would have great storage, but then I would also have an area that was like a really homey atmosphere with sofas, and I'd like some places for them to either go up high like a loft or go in like tents and things. My current classroom does have access to the outside to a courtyard that has like a reading area, and I like that. And it would just, I don't know what a theme I would have or anything like that, but I would make it a place where they like to come, where they can't wait to come in, and when other classes come in, they're like proud and they have ownership in their classroom. What about you, Jessie?
We were talking about this. I like my current classroom, like the decor and that, everything like that. I would want all of that in a room. I would love it a little bigger. That would be nice to have like a really big, big classroom. I would love, my first year teaching, I did not have any windows, and that really messes with your head. My current classroom that I've had, this will be my third year in it, I have one window. It's like floor to ceiling, but it used to be, it's probably as wide as a door would be. So, because it used to be a door, that's what I was told, so we all used to have access to go outside, and then at some point, a while ago, they did that. So my dream classroom would be like a wall of windows. I just need light. I think that first year really messed with my head, not having any light.
We painted in fake light.
Yes, we painted one wall yellow, because we could only paint one wall, so we painted one wall bright yellow just to keep things happy. So I would have a door to go outside and have an area outside where they could hang out. And I'd love for it to be like right against the playground too, so like I could send kids, like, I don't know, like sometimes, like if I wanted to go run 3 laps or like go swing 5 times and come back in. Like I'd love to do that.
Yes. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and I'd love the ability to paint and just make the color my color. I can't do that at my school. But yeah, I think just like natural light is what I would dream of.
And storage is so important, I think, for all of us.
Yeah.
Good storage where I feel like we're constantly hiding stuff or putting curtains over things.
Yeah.
I'd like good covered space.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Hey,
Yay.
thanks for coming by.
Well, thank you for joining me. Well, I'm back at Michelle's house. It's been a couple days, and she told me to come by because she had a surprise for me. But no one's home, so I'm about to walk in and see what's happening. Dogs are barking. So she got me a sign that says it's my first day of first grade, which is adorable, and I'm probably going to take one with myself as well as my kids. And then she got me these pineapples because she probably felt bad that she made fun of people who like pineapples in their classroom, and I admitted that I had some pineapple things that I'd bought this summer. Thanks, Michelle. You're super sweet and funny, and you should not have done that. Should she? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like my video, comment, and keep watching because there's more to come in the future. Thanks, y'all.